And our community champion this week is someone very, very special. Samantha Ringuette works tirelessly in the community to bring basketball opportunities and sport opportunities through her teaching and her coaching to young girls and young women in our city and surrounding areas. Samantha, welcome this morning, and thank you for making time from your busy schedule. I know you're at an event right now, so thank you for making time.
Thank you for asking me.
So, Samantha, give our listeners your story. How did you acquire and develop such a passion for the sport of basketball and also for coaching the sport of basketball with the kind of zeal that you coach it with?
I honestly don't know how I got into basketball in the elements that I had. I grew up playing all different kinds of sports with all different style of coaches, and you kind of pick the ways that you want to lead from the people that lead you growing up. And I had some really great leaders that made a real big impact on me.
Give us an example of one of those great leaders and why they made such an impact in your life.
Well, I had a chemistry teacher in high school, and she didn't have to do much. She just had to be the positive presence in my life to make me see that I'm capable of doing things that I want to do. And it might not be sport related, but it showed me that someone believed in me and that I can do things if someone believes in me. And I felt that there was a bit of a gap for that in sports in our city, specifically with girls. You see a lot of awesome promotion of men's sports and boys' sports, but you don't get that same feel for the girls.
Absolutely.
So I wanted to give them that opportunity to have great basketball training, but also a community that believed in them.
I love the fact that you referred to a chemistry teacher because I think oftentimes athletes are influenced by people other than their coaches. Yep. And that help them connect the dots like you just articulated very, very well, Samantha. So thank you for sharing that. I think that's really significant. So now you offer these opportunities to young women to have this kind of outstanding training. Talk about the programs that you run.
Well, I started a program called Altitude Basketball about 4 years ago, so we're relatively new, and started with just a small group of about 20 girls and had an incredibly successful season. So we run spring programs for U10 all the way up to U18, and then we run probably the biggest part of our club is our fall 3-on-3. So we had close to 100 girls doing 3-on-3 basketball throughout the fall this year, and that is for absolutely any athlete who wants to play. We had girls who have never touched a basketball before to girls who are signing to play ACAC and U Sport. So it didn't matter where you came from. We wanted you there just to play. And it was fantastic, the growth we saw in some of these girls from not being able to dribble the ball with confidence to, by the end, being able to go between their legs was fantastic.
Now, of course, you know, as we have talked many times, my passion for 3x3, the fact that you have invested in this in the way that you have with your efforts. I'm not talking monetarily. I'm talking about your efforts, Samantha, your vision. And you hit on something I think that's really critical here. I've been watching a lot of basketball in the community recently, different age levels. And if I have an observation, particularly, it's for both genders, but on the girls' side, the development of girls with fundamental skills when they're just playing 5-on-5. I think it's harder at young ages to develop real good, sound fundamentals. Do you think, and it's a bit of a leading question, but do you think, Samantha, that 3x3 enables better development in key fundamental skill areas at younger ages than 5-on-5?
100%. That's one of the reasons why we wanted to start running it, because you can't really hide in 3-on-3.
Right.
You have to be willing to put yourself out there. You have to be willing to move Because if you're not moving, then you're going 2-on-3 or 1-on-3, and that's a lose-lose situation for that offensive program or that offensive team. Everyone touches the basketball, and you learn through those experiences. You learn through the gameplay, and it's so fun. We've had such positive support from all the families with our 3-on-3 program. We've been asked to run it through the winter, especially at our younger age groups with U11 and U13. And we ran our U11 program this year the first time. We put the nets low at the 8.5 foot height, and watching them play was so cool because they learned how to cut, they learned how to space. And at U11, that can often be hard, especially in a 5-on-5. So watching them being able to understand that and then bring it to their community teams was really cool to watch.
Well, I love the way that you describe that. For U11, you're on 8.5 foot hoops, and the time that the kids are spending is with the basketball in a concentrated area. Like you said, you can't hide. And hide almost has a negative ramification, but that isn't negative at all. It means, like you said, you have to put yourself out there. You're going to have to be involved. You really have no choice because you're in a small space, a smaller space, less distance to cover with only 2 teammates. So you're going to touch the ball. So the necessity to try things becomes very real. You can only hide so long, and it's so much less threatening than 5-on-5. Is that a truism from your experience as well, Samantha?
Oh, 100%. I love 3-on-3 because it also forces them to be teammates. It forces you to have that teamwork and work together and find ways to work together. Because the moment that our U13 started realizing that they're going to draw that defense towards them, someone else is going to be open. So now they need to work on their passing to get their teammates open. And it's a very meaningful and very engaging way to develop your skills.
Well, the thing about you, Samantha, that I've observed personally, but many others who know you, who work with you, who compete against you, you've developed a huge amount of respect in the basketball community because of your walking the walk of really making your program about the athlete. You're not exorbitantly expensive. That's a whole different topic, that whole club world for both girls and boys.
Definitely.
But what I'm looking for, what I look for in people's character in terms of walking the walk is making this accessible, affordable, and making it easier for kids and their families to make decisions to get their child involved in it, because they get carried. I think it just gets so carried away into Instagram, social media, clothes, traveling to tournaments. And what you're talking about is the essence of the game, which is skill development, and more than that, becoming a great teammate and character development as well. Yep.
We're a fully volunteer, so with this club, I don't get paid. Everything our coaches are doing is volunteer-based. And our number one focus is to empower those girls, to help them build their confidence, help them build their leadership. We've had some high school girls, one is in grade 12, one's in grade 11, and they've been coaching with our younger programs for the last couple years, and that's helping them develop leadership. We're very intentional with what we do, and I think that's not always common, but hopefully going to get more common.
You're being very kind. It's not common. It's not common. No, I'll rephrase that. It's not common enough. What you're describing is not common enough. The capitalist impact on basketball has influenced how people behave. Like the fact that you are intentional, you're developing young people along with yourself. You're a young person yourself, Samantha. Yep. Way ahead of your time, wise beyond your years. Share with our listeners and viewers how they can get in touch with you and learn more about your program if they're considering having their child participate.
Well, we have a website, altitudebasketball.ca, and we're very active on Instagram and social media. Those are definitely the best ways to get a hold of us.
Okay.
We run lots of camps through the summer, skill sessions, and of course our 3-on-3. When it opens, it fills. So
altitudebasketball.ca, folks, do your child a favor. Go to altitudebasketball.ca. This is the real deal. This is really about the kids, and they're going to get better. Samantha, you are, like I said, you walk the walk. Samantha Ringuette, thank you so much for joining us. You are truly a community champion.
I really appreciate it. Thank you.